Hey girls, hey. Hey boys, hey. It's Mama Beauty's here. I am back, you guys. I didn't even put on any mascara. Good Lord, have mercy on my soul. What did I wake up to today? It's not going to stop me, you guys. This is called investigative reporting. This is what other YouTubers do. I actually want to share with you guys that when I started YouTube, I actually looked up to these two certain YouTubers, and they only had like 6,000 subscribers. And so I thought, you know what? If these girls can do it, I can do it too. And they were actually a little bit of my inspiration to do it, but I wanted to be different than them. I wanted to make sure that I didn't, victim bash in any way, shape, or form, or I didn't want to make the victim compliant in their death, because no victim is compliant in their death no matter what they did. Okay. And so I decided that I wanted to start sharing my opinion, because mine differed so much from theirs, but I continued to watch them because I keep my mind open and I don't hate on people for their opinions. We're all entitled for our opinions. And so someone's opinion doesn't really define them. It just says things that they're passionate about. But so I just kept it moving, and I never commented on their stuff. I never came at them, but one of them first said I was too loud in my Dr. Oz video, and it kind of like took me aback, and I was like, wow, I've supported you, and there's lots of things in your lives that I didn't agree with, but I didn't chime in and tell you what to do on your channel. So you guys, I have receipts. So I wanted to bring you that missing chapter. And I didn't monetize any of my videos, you guys. I have not monetized anything except for my Asperger's videos and my Rarity Nails video. And I think I monetized the giveaway video. And of course, you all know that you can't make money off of YouTube for a while. So I haven't made a dime. Last night, I got my first super chat because Cam was sweet. I believe it was Cam was sweet enough to get it started as a test. And then I got a $14, a $5, and a $3. And I look in this chat for this Patreon because there's a secret chat group. And I see my Facebook picture in there, you guys. My Facebook picture. And let me read you what I ended up seeing. Okay, so Gabri, are you here? Make sure you block. Because I have some goons after me. So anyway, I'll go back and read these messages in a minute because we still have to cover the Devil Beside Me episode. What is very loud, Denise? I'm loud. I don't even have a microphone. So start out your luck. Let me just make sure I don't block the wrong person. Who else is? Okay, so I obviously need some moderators now. So we'll be working on that today too when I do my giveaway and all of that. Let me just continue to block. All our people are after me because I did investigative reporting and actually went in to get this information for you guys, but I'm a horrible person. So anyway, let's move on. Why don't you guys type the people's names in for me that need blocked, and then I'll just stop what I'm doing and I'll go block them. Okay, so I reported that I stayed up. It was a 5-hour live, you guys, and I paid a week ago my $5 Patreon to be able to hear this. It was live on YouTube on her channel that you could hear the missing chapter if you subscribe to her Patreon for $5 or more. And it was on a public platform, and it gave the Patreon on a public platform, and I was a subscriber, so I did it. And so I didn't give you guys any heads up. I didn't lead up to it, except maybe in my giveaway live, I might have said I might have some juicy information. Well, it came on at 10 and it didn't go off at 2. I think someone else said it stayed on till 3, but I fell asleep shortly after I got off and listened to the final hour. So I wake up to these messages, you guys, in that super chat, or not super chat, that secret chat that you had to be added to get the Patreon link. And so there's a clip of my video right there. And she says, WTF is this SHIT? And then she says, this YouTube creator, who is she? And then somebody said she's a mole. And somebody else said, is that someone reading the missing chapter? And then someone said, looks like it. She must have taped it, which I didn't. I just recorded the missing chapter. That's it. Not the 4 hours of the live, you guys. You know that I don't even have that much storage to record videos. So anyway, then I keep reading, and someone says, is this her? And someone says, yes. And then they put my first and last name in there, and they said, this is who it is. And then they tagged the YouTuber that I'm talking about. Then they put a picture of me and my granddaughter and my Facebook page up in that chat. And then they tagged another lady. And someone else said, yes, this is her. And so then they put, she's only had her channel for a few days. And then they put, she did get super chat off of stolen info. And I didn't ask for super chat. I never have. I just said that I was trying to get it enabled. I just got it yesterday. So of course I'm going to get a super chat the first time I get it and bring it up. I've never brought up super chat before. That was the first time I had ever even brought it up. And someone was nice enough to test it for me. And then somebody else gave me money, the $15, because I had stayed up till 1 in the morning and was exhausted. You could tell in the video. So then they posted my about section and everything about me on my about section from YouTube. And they said, is this her? And someone else said yes. And then they said that I was dissing Sherilyn about not being sensitive. And then they said that I was going over it word for word and butchering the words. Okay, so then I said this back, and this is, I'm going to leave it at this, and we're not even going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to move on to the devil beside me, because I was only doing what is fair use. It was fair use. You put your Patreon on a public YouTube page. I subscribed to it. I paid my money to get that information, and I summarized it for you guys. It was a 5-hour-long live. My video was 20 minutes. It was 20 minutes, you guys. So I did not give you word for word what they said. So I am going to continue to share that information, though, but I will make sure that I don't speculate on anything, that it is just exactly what I heard. So this was my response, and then we're going to leave it at that. I chimed in and I said, yes, I'm here. I'm saying that it is wrong. She did not give Sandy a copy because she would not give her a voice. You guys are ruthless. The video has been taken down, and I have screenshots of all of this. I'm going to make a live about how this is about this, and this is how you are treated in this Patreon group. Good to know you guys act like this. Don't worry, I'll be seeing myself out. And then I left the group and the Patreon group, but not before I took a picture of this, what one of my subscribers just said. They are posting pictures of people that I'm sure they don't have permission for. Let me see. They had this picture up today in the Patreon group. So I have receipts, and I screenshot all of those messages so you guys can see that somebody was calling me the B word, and all of that. They called me an effing B word, and anyway, I don't even want to talk about that no more. That's done. So the Dr. Phil episode and the missing NK chapter. Let me be very careful about how I word this for you guys, but we deserve to know. This is all information that other YouTubers have already had out there and that they just solidified. They're not the first person to say that her crystals were bigger and darker than what we all thought, that she was more into something darker than just collecting crystals. Okay, I said in my videos a long time ago that the dark things in NK's house, since Chris was now a newfound Christian, could have been just crystals. So she talks shit about every creator. Is there anybody I need to block, you guys? Is there anybody hating on me, Shanann? Anybody hating on me, Shanann, Cece, Bella, Nico, the Ruseks are blocked. You're blocked. So if you do not like those people, you do not need to be here. If you think that any of those people had anything to do with this tragedy, you do not need to be here. The only people that need to be blamed in this horrifying, the darkest thing I've ever covered incident is Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts. And if you want to blame the Watts for it, then, you know, that's for each person to decide. But we all know without a shadow of a doubt that Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts were doing some really weird stuff leading up to Shanann and his precious baby's murders. We all know that. They were into some weird stuff, both of them. And basically, Nicole Kessinger had a business in Aurora, Colorado that she closed 3 days after the FBI started investigating. And the name of that business, which was an environmental consulting group or agency, was the Latin name for Satan. Okay, and it was in Aurora, Colorado, where all that history of all that dark stuff is going on in Aurora, plus the shootings, and just a lot of the ground there is supposed to be bad even. So she had a consulting business for this with this other lady. It was a business that they owned together, and it apparently got shut down 3 days after she was investigated. And they talked about there is a photograph of Nicole Kessinger and Jim after the murders with their little cult group up in the mountains somewhere. And that Chris Watts asked the author if she found anything on Jim, because he always thought that Nicole and Jim had been intimate, or that they are. And so we'll get back to more of that in just a minute, but I want to go over the Devil Beside Me podcast real fast. Are we good? Is everybody good in here? Okay. I'm definitely going to pick moderators. I need you guys. I really do. And I believe that if you want to be a moderator, send me an email, okay? I don't want to ask somebody that don't want to be one. So if you do want to be a moderator, send me an email. And here you go. Gabri, are you here? And I'm sorry I'm screaming, you guys. I'll pipe down a little bit. Can you guys believe that let's see, that my channel got approved? I'm so excited about that. Thank you so much for all the support, you guys. I wouldn't be able to do this without each and every one of you. And I'm super excited to have these friends that I've built. And I love your comments. Keep them coming, because since I've started this channel, my mind has went like this. And I used to be over here with the scenario, but now I'm like, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, or this. So you've given me lots of different theories, and I love being able to open my mind up to all of that. So basically, the Dr. Phil episode today, I thought he was going to end with a big bang, and that it was going to be awesome. And he was just basically covering the book. And there wasn't anything like that we didn't already know in that episode. So, yes, and that's what investigative reporters do, you guys. I kept quiet. I acted right. I stayed in there long enough to get the information, and then I brought it to you guys. And it's not anything that other YouTubers weren't saying. Right before that, I have a screenshot of them all saying, only Kay has the info. I said her name. Dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Only this YouTuber has the info. She's the only one. And then she was getting pumped up by that. And then she saw that I had put that out there. And so I took it down because they said that I was saying something that wasn't right. So I just won't say that in this video. But I'm still going to give you guys all the information. So Dr. Phil says that, let me get to my page 1. I'm not going to be bullied. I'm giving it all back to you in this one. You're getting all the tea right here. Don't you worry. I'm not going to be bullied. I did investigative reporting. I stayed up super late. I deserve to be able to give this information. And guess what? I'm not taking it to make money. This video is not monetized. Anything that has Nicole Kessinger, Chris Watts, or Patrick Swayze, or anybody's tragic tragedy, I'm not going to make money off of them. I'm here to get input and to try to put pieces together with your help, because I know that I can't do it alone, not with all this information. So dang, Gina, get your own content. Ooh, girl. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Oh, cry me a river. Let me see. Where did it go? See, the chat moves up when I go to block, and I don't want to block the wrong person. You can't get a copyright strike on information that's already all over YouTube. They didn't say anything that other people didn't already know. And let's see. Well, they used to be Felicity, but now they are bashing the Watts. They tried to say that letter that Sandy wrote, the one I read you guys twice, the statement to Dr. Oz, they're spreading that Sandy is protecting Chris in that letter. And that is not true. So let me just... Ooh, bring it on. Let me call my daughter and tell her I need her on here. Patrick Swayze. Did I say Swayze? So sorry. I'm going to call my daughter and tell her I need her to moderate. Block Christina. I'm trying to find her. It's because, Redmilia, they're mad at me for giving you guys the missing chapter. Hey, can you get on here and moderate? There's like a lot of people that need to be blocked. She sent all her haters to my channel. All right. Anyone saying I'm stealing content or talking smash, just block, 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 baby. Please. Love you. Bye. All right. Let's act like adults. You guys just don't even read that. Gabri's going to take care of the chat. And if they're smart and they want to be a good mole over here on my channel, they'll do what I did and keep their mouth shut. Because I kept my mouth shut a lot over there when I was waiting for this missing chapter, you guys. I wanted to speak up a lot, and I did it. So just bad investigating. All right. Let's get back to that. We all know that this author thought that Chris had a defense in the beginning. She thought that maybe NK had something more to do with it. We all know that from the text that we've seen between the author and Jamie and Cindy, but we do not know if those texts have not been altered. This is all allegedly. So we also know that she tried Thrive for 3 months, you guys. This author did, to see if that might have been why Chris wasn't sleeping and all of that. And she says that personally, Thrive helped her fibromyalgia and that it had nothing to do with it. So Dr. Phil points out that in one of Chris's confessions, that it made him a hero when he was trying to say that Shanann did that, which we all know she didn't, that it made him a hero for getting rid of the person that was trying to kill his babies, right? And he says that in the other scenario, it also makes him look good whenever he tried to say that he killed her because when they got in an argument, that she was crying and very upset because he told her he didn't love her anymore, and he tried to make it out that she was raging then because she couldn't live without him. He tried to make it seem like she said she couldn't make it with 3 kids. She couldn't make it getting divorced. She couldn't make it in Colorado. So he looks like the guy that a girl can't live without. And he said that in his third story, he points out that it is premeditated. That his third confession, he admits that he premeditated it and he planned it so long. And he points out that all that time he was planning it, we also have to keep in mind that he had that much time to stop it. So it wasn't like something he planned for 2 days and he couldn't stop himself. It was something that he planned for weeks, and he had weeks to stop himself. So he keeps saying that he was out of control and numb and he was under an evil spell. And even the missing chapter of NK kind of supports that he's telling people he had to have told the author all this stuff about NK. She only found out on her own through investigative reporting that the business had been closed 3 days after. And she looked up the dioptase, what was it called? DIOPTASE crystal, and found out what that was used in the Kundalini awakening and all of that. So NK was giving Chris this drink that he was drinking every single day when he stayed at her house. He never saw her make it. She went into the kitchen to make the drink and would just bring it back to him and give it to him. And so he was also looking for one of those crystals for her at one point in time. And so basically, the timeline that was given on this podcast is that, or not podcast, through this missing link and what I listened to last night, is that Shanann got home and she got in the bed with Chris. Sherilyn Cadle is saying that they had sex, and that after that, he got up and she rolled over because she was super tired, and he went downstairs for something. And when he came back upstairs, he did that to Bella, and then he did it to Celeste, and then he went back and got back in the bed with Shanann, and then they argued. And while they were laying there talking, he did that to her. That he told her that he did that to her, and that's when he said that he knew that she was gone when she did that to herself, and that he had known that ahead of time, that that was his intention, was to making sure that he kept his hands on there long enough so she would do that, because he knew that ahead of time was a sign of death. So maybe, and at this point, he had not, if that is true, then I feel like Shanann would have heard him doing that to the girls in the other room. Like, even though he did it with a pillow, I feel like she would have heard it or sensed something and got up. Maybe she was too tired and couldn't have, but this is the story that Chris has given Sherilyn. So she also said that right before he did it, remember, he has already told all of us that his hands felt like they were being controlled. He knew he should take them off, but he couldn't. And he tells her that his last words to her before he did this to her was, "I don't love you." And then he killed her. So Dr. Phil points out that this Dodge Correctional Center has been the houser of people like Ed Gein, Chris Coleman, and it's an old psychiatric hospital, you guys. So imagine the stuff that is going to go on there if he isn't close to God. So that's why he's clinging to God, is because I guarantee you there are a lot of dark things swarming around left in that prison from it being an old psych ward. And Dr. Phil says that two females visit Chris, that they think that his newfound religion is true. They think that his reformation is legit. And he says that one of them visits him because they believe that a demon took him over and that he didn't have control over what he did. And another woman says that she visits because oh no, my battery's running low. Let me plug this in. The other woman visits believe that NK had control of his mind. And now that we know that she was involved in this dark pagan cult, it's very possible. And how do we know that this cult didn't pick Chris because he was weak? How do we know that she didn't seek him out by listening to Shanann on her Facebook or meeting her somewhere, and that they picked Chris to be this, whatever it was they were molding to happen? It brings more light to Jim and Nicole are involved. Period. 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 Okay. And unfortunately, information that Kay has given out has been private as well. Lots of stuff are private that end up on YouTube. Same for me. You guys are going to rake me across the coals. So do it. I have nothing to hide. I want to show people that you can evolve, that you can change, that you can not be like that anymore. Even if you were like that yesterday, today is a new day. You can turn over a new leaf and not play into that. It's ugly and it's wrong. And I have a right to think that Sherilyn Cadle should not have used her book as leverage to get a voice from Sandy. You can have my book if you give me your voice, but if you don't get my book and you read it with the rest of the world. No, I'm sorry. So then he says that he talks about how he wrote his father, that he's still a dad, he's still a son, and a servant of God. And he talks about him being in a 6x8 cell. And Dr. Phil is not sure Chris's finding Christ is genuine. He says it happened awfully fast. And he also points out that he would have some remorse by now. He would not be, if his newfound faith was true, he would have never said she did what she did when she died. He would have never said when he put her body in the grave that she landed the way she did. He would have never said all of these things. All of those things were a backhanded jab at Shanann after she's gone. It's just sad. Okay, so Dr. Phil says that Anna and Kate are aliases, that that's not their real names, that their names have been changed for their protection. They both think that he is truly remorseful, and Chris is telling these women what Dr. Phil points out, that he loves these visits from these women. And so he will tell these women whatever they want to hear to get them to come back, just like Sherilyn Cadle. He loved getting the visits from the author. And so he told her juicy tidbits and stuff just to get her to keep coming back, because she knew in her mind it would make her book hype and it would make her book something people would seek after. So, the women writing and visiting Chris, he went into the psyche of their minds and why women would write serial killers or people like Chris or men in prison in general. And he pointed out that whenever you date a prisoner, there's these women that serial date prisoners, and that when they date a prisoner, that they get all of their time, that they have a captive mind, that they get lots of letters, lots of phone calls, that they are able to control that person's happiness by giving them money on their commissary. They are able to feel like they're in the control of the relationship. They're not on level playing fields. They have a lot of the control because they're out and that person is in. And that there are a lot of women that love that. And there are some women that are aroused by the criminal bad boy complex as well, and some women that only want to date criminals. He says that they also have a savior complex. They like to feel like they are the only one that can see the good side of this person. They're the only one that this person will open up to. They're the only one, just kind of like the author feels like she is the only one, that the FBI couldn't even get this information from Chris, and that she is this savior that did this for us. But it seems like, to me, unfortunately, I have more questions after the book than I had answers. And Dr. Phil says these women love being caretakers of the person in prison's soul and their just everyday lives. And he points out the fact that when you date a man from prison, there's no competition. You don't have to worry about him meeting somebody else that he's going to like better. But on Chris's case, I have to beg to differ, because there is lots of competition, because there's lots of nut jobs writing Chris letters. Yes, they are also said in this podcast, Paula, that some of the autopsy has been redacted, and I heard somewhere else that Nicole's interview has been redacted from the discovery, and we're getting ready to dive into all of that on this channel. And so, like I said, I'm not doing it for money, so none of the videos will be monetized. But by the time we dissect all of this, you guys, we will have some form of solid answer, especially with us all putting our heads together. And I just want y'all to know I'm not making any money. I haven't made any money. I've done this for a whole month, not making a dime. When you get a super chat, you get, and see, these are front and back of my notes. When you get a super chat, they take 30% of that. Plus, you have to meet a threshold on YouTube before you even get paid. So if you don't make that threshold, you don't get any money. And I haven't even put ads on anything but maybe 5 videos. I promise that this is not about making money to me. It is about getting to the bottom of it. It is about that I needed an outlet to cover these kind of cases, because I sit here with an 8-year-old and I can't talk to him about it, watching these investigation discovery and watching Dr. Phil and all of these different people. And I'm like, man, I want to know more. They leave me hanging, wanting to know more. And my dad was a police officer. I always wanted to be a lawyer. And so this is for me, and I love it. And it's not about the money. I promise you, I have been genuine. I opened up about things about me that make me look horrible and bad. But I told you all that I overcame it. I told you all that I would be genuine, that I would tell you the truth, and I would own my wrongs. And I'm not going to stop that. I will continue to do that. The problem is, and Correct me if I'm wrong. I have been covering, I had my channel up for 8 months, 9 months, maybe a year, but it was only covering Asperger's and us, my family. I started this on October 12th, and I had 12 subscribers. By November 13th, which was yesterday when I got monetized, I had 1,200 subscribers, and that was in 1 month. These other creators are at 6 or 7 in a year. And so they see me in their shoes a year from now with 12,000 subscribers, and they are hating on me and they're jealous. And the thing is I'm not going to have that many subscribers because I'm going to block so many people, you guys. I'm going to block so many people that my subscriber count will just keep going down and down and down. It's not about the money. Even if I go back down below 1,000, it's about the community and about the friendships and about just being able to reach out. It's about giving a stranger my email and saying, listen, I want to be here for you. How can I help? It's about bringing other people on and just not even doing lives on the Watts case and just talking about how you and I survived addiction and how we're not sweating and stomach gut wrenching on the phone, asking people if they know where they can find us, our drug of choice. We have something constructive to do. We are putting that energy that we put into finding drugs into something constructive. And so hate on me all you want. Gabby blocked Stephanie. You got to listen to my subscribers, baby love. They'll tell you. I told them to help us by telling us who to block. So let's go block Stephanie. Click, click. If I stole the content, you guys, I wouldn't have paid for. I paid for that content. It's not like I got in there and took the money and ran. I paid specifically for what they told me I could pay for. They said I could pay a monthly Patreon to get the missing chapter. That's it. And so I am not worried. Thank you, Gab. Gab block crimes against humanity. It's okay. We're not going to pay it no attention. They can do whatever they want to me. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. And my best friend / godfather is a retired federal judge. So we do not have to worry. Gabby can vouch for me on that. We've been best friends, 20 years. No, maybe, 21 years. So I'm not worried. That's the reason why I went to YouTube, is because I knew that I had legal help. That, a lot of people can't make these channels because if somebody tries to come at you, you don't have the recourse to be able to fight back. But don't y'all worry about me, okay? Don't you worry about me. Mama's got people that care about me, and I'm like NK. I surround myself with people that won't suck the life out of me and won't ask me for money or won't turn me in or all of that. I mean, I'm not like NK, but you guys know what I mean. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get it back to the Dr. Phil saying that these women have a savior complex and no competition. Some women rarely are, some women are even aroused by men that are criminals. I told you that. Dr. Phil says that they feel safe in those relationships because they don't have to deal with seeing them all the time. They see them at their convenience, and so they don't do well with relationships out in the real world. Yep. And then he said on that podcast that Chris was mad when the girls were not dead. And Dr. Phil says that he thinks that maybe he did give her oxy twice. Is he the only person that's modding right now is my daughter, but Gabby, make sure you read the comments and block who they're saying to block. Hillary, block Hillary. It's because she sent all of her Patreon people over here. There was 100 people in that Patreon that they shared all of that. Well, I think there was 300 and something, actually. There was 100 on the live last night. But they shared my information on there, so this is going to happen a lot. Thank you, Ashley. I did not check my email all day yesterday or look at comments all day yesterday because I was so busy trying to get streaming software, and then come to find out I'm an idiot and could have been using StreamYard the whole time. I thought my StreamYard ended because it said on the 13th I wouldn't be able to record anymore without paying. And then when I went to see how much it was, it's $25 a month, and you only get 4 hours of recording. So I decided to get rid of that, and I was trying to download all that gaming software that people use, and it just took up my whole day. And then I had to watch all the monetization videos because they sent me the email saying that I got monetized. And so I didn't really monetize a lot of videos. I just wanted to get my super chat turned on, and just in case. But I have never asked for money, you guys, and you know that. You the 1,000% know that I've never said I need money for this or can you help me for that. I haven't. I have only given you my website where I sell the nail strips. So Dr. Phil said that Shanann was pregnant, emotional, and possibly slipped painkillers right before Chris killed her. And isn't it weird that all he thought about was her mascara? He says that Chris's letter about the moment that Shanann died was just demeaning and a way to get at her, even after he already killed her. That's okay. If they do that, then I can handle that too. We forget my dad was a police officer in this town for 25 years. And so I will just get the authorities on it. I'm not going to play. I mean, at all. And I have a right to protect myself. And like I said, I've said this before, when I close that front door, I have a sense of security on this other side. Because if someone comes in uninvited, I have an 8-year-old son here, so I have no means of escape. And so that gives me the right to protect myself. So when I step out in that world, I get anxiety and I get anxious that one of these mass shootings are going to happen or something's going to happen at Walmart. It's happened at our pharmacies here. Guns are pulled out everywhere. And so I worry. But when I'm in my home where I have the right to protect myself, then I'm not worried. And I don't get out much. I homeschool. I work from home. We only get out to go out to the Y or something. So I'm not concerned. I have a lot of people that have my back, and all of this came up before I started my YouTube channel. Me and my daughter talked about all of this that was going to happen. We even went over doxing because I didn't know what it meant. And then when I found out what it meant, I called her and was like, people really do this to people? And she said, yes. So I knew all of this was going to happen, and it was a choice that I made. And if you haven't noticed that in a month of doing video after video, I haven't put my son on here much because that's where I draw the line. I'm not, you guys can mess with me all you want, but don't make Mama Bear come out by messing with my baby now. Okay? He didn't ask to be born into this messed up world, and it's my job to protect him, and I will. So, okay, so let's get back to what Dr. Phil was saying. He was basically saying that that he was, not, if he loved Shanann so much and still did, and he was this reformed man, then why was he saying that about her in her shallow grave? And why did he say that about her when he killed her, about what she did? So, I agree with him on that. And they both, NK and Chris, said that August 13th was not the sole reason, that NK was not the sole reason that Chris killed his whole family. He annihilated his whole family. And both Chris and NK at the beginning of this a year ago said that she wasn't the sole reason. But now Chris is all of a sudden saying in this book that she is. And he kind of said that she was in the second confession. And I think he is baiting her to write him. He is giving little tidbits of information as time passes so he can force her to reach out to him before he tells. I'm telling you, we will get more information on her, and it won't just be this missing chapter from this author, but trust me, more will resurface as the years go by. So Dr. Phil was just reading Chris's sick excerpts from the book. That's all he was doing. He says that when Chris says she did that to herself after he killed her, it was an attempt to demean her after death. And when he talks about that, he says that he's a sociopath and that it was always there. It was just waiting to come out. And Dr. Phil says Chris lied about wanting to kill himself. He never planned on doing that. And he killed them to have a blank slate. He admits feeling free to be with Nikki, and he felt no remorse. He says even the book gives conflicting accounts of what Chris says. He says Chris won't admit where the oxy came from. And he said, quote, that Chris said, if I had not met Nikki, I would have never murdered my family. Now, he wasn't saying that back in Wisconsin. He was just like, she really didn't have much to do with it. And now he is flat out saying that to get her, to scare her, I believe, into reaching out to at least his lawyers. Dr. Phil said there's no evidence to support that she was involved, but I totally disagree on that. And back to the missing chapter about NK being involved with Jim in a Sikh Darkrit pagan society. She owned a business that she closed down 3 days after the FBI investigated. It was named after a Latin word of Satan. She never left her house without a crystal. She held them up to the sun in front of Chris when they went on one of their nature trips and said that she was praying to her dead grandmother. Chris thought that NK and Jim were having an intimate relationship or had one or is having one. He really wanted to know if this author had found anything out about Jim that she could report back to him. Sherilyn says that she broke down seeing this statement that Sandy had written, that when Dr. Oz told her that Sandy had given a statement, she thought that Sandy just said something to Dr. Oz over the phone. But when this other YouTuber supposedly sent it over to the author, that is supposed to be the first time she saw it, which was not last night, but the night before. She's saying that she never saw that before. She didn't know that it was an illegal document and that it was from the attorneys and that it really upset her. And evidently this other YouTuber was the first person to give it to her. But I had it before that and was reading it to you guys before that. But the author's saying she didn't know about it then. And also, they're trying to say that that statement is Sandy and them protecting Chris from the author, and that the letter seems very protective over a man that annihilated the family. And I thought that was wrong. I don't think it was protective over Chris. It was letting the public know that the author went about this in a very deceitful way. And I got this information in a very legit way, you guys. I paid my Patreon. I heard it over another YouTuber, open public YouTuber that I was subscribed to, say, you can get the missing chapter on NK if you subscribe to my Patreon. We're going to read it in my Patreon. So I subscribed. I only got a week of that. It was supposed to be a whole month, and they got my money, and I'm kicked out already 1 week later. So I didn't even get my other 3 weeks. So if anybody is getting the raw end of the stick here, it's me, because I didn't get my Patreon that I paid for. Where's my refund? And last night they were, during this live, giving Sherilyn Cadle donations. They asked for her Venmo, and a lot of people didn't have Venmo. And so she was giving her husband's PayPal, and she was giving another donation money. And I am not like that. I'm not asking you guys for money. And they tried to accuse me of getting a super chat. That was because it was my very first time doing it, and people were doing it because it was the first time they were able to do it ever. So Sandy told Dr. Phil that she heals by providing to others comfort in pain when they are in pain, and that she wants to hug every mother out there that has missed a child. And Sandy asked for her donations to be made to the Lupus Foundation and the Center for Missing Children, Dr. Phil said. So this other YouTuber is even lining Sherilyn's pockets for all of this. So she already got money from the book, but she's also getting donations from this 5-hour Patreon. The Watts family in November 2018, Chris says that they were talking, or Dr. Phil said that they told him they wake up every morning crying to get through it, and that they love him, they love him and not what he did. And that Dr. Phil feels like the more psychopathic somebody is, the more good at hiding it they are. So the crazier you are, the better you are at hiding it. And he also admits that all of the people that worked on the recovery process of the bodies of this annihilated family, a lot of them have PTSD. He said more news will come about Chris over the years. He's positive he will marry again. He thinks that this is the darkest case that he has ever covered, and I feel the same way. And again, the NK book says that they did have sex, and said that he knew she would be dead, and that she wouldn't just be passed out unconscious when she did that to herself at the end. And so he knew that ahead of time. He must have been researching that. And Chris told the author that he thought the girls were dead the first time because that they were stiff. And she told him that that couldn't be possible, Chris. That doesn't happen till hours later. And he swore to her that that's why he thought that they were dead the first time, is because of that. But evidently he had just smothered them unconscious. And that is so, so sad. I don't know if you guys ever did that thing when you were a kid. You had to breathe like 20 times in and out really, really fast. And then you crossed your arms and somebody picked your chest up and squeezed you really tight and held you for a minute real tight. And you would literally pass out, and it felt like you were having like this long, long dream. Well, that right there shows that you can pass out and not die. So, and then he says that he did that with the tanks to make sure that they did. So I'm not 100% sure on how these babies died or when. And the author thinks that when Cece came back the first time, that she possibly had some kind of neurological damage because she had lost oxygen to her brain for so long, that she thinks that's why she wasn't running around like her nickname Rampage. And the author thinks that the plan was derailed when the girls did not die the first time. She thinks that Chris was going to go on to work. Sorry. She thinks that Chris was going to go on to work and then say that there was an intruder in the house, that he was going to come home and find them all dead, smothered and strangled, and his alibi would be that he was at work. Now, she also said that Chris was panicking because he clearly saw the shadow underneath the truck when he was at Nate's looking at the camera footage, and he was freaking out at that point because he thought that they had saw the shadow come up when he did. And so the shadow really freaked him out, and he couldn't believe that the police did not pick up on that. And they also said that Shanann's last words that she heard before he killed her was, "I don't love you." And NK and Jim were in a weird cult, and that business was based out of Aurora, and she owned it with another lady. And they think that NK was trying to give Chris a Kundalini awakening when they were going on these nature trips, and the drink that she was giving him every day, I already talked about. And the business, again, was an environmental consultant agency, and that she had crystals all over her house. And I said that in an earlier video. I said the darkness that Chris could be talking about could have something to do with the crystals. I said that at the beginning of me covering this. And supposedly there's pictures after the murders of NK, Jim, and some of their small group of friends up in the mountains. And the name of the crystal is dioptase crystal. And if you look it up, it's supposed to help in spiritual healing during divorce and death and all of this. It like opens up your mind and your chakra to, like, the author thinks that NK was trying to pretend like she was educated and skilled in this, but she really wasn't, that they were playing with fire pretty much. And Chris told the author that there was times he'd be at NK's and he would be talking to her. Let's just say he would be saying, yeah, my girls don't eat peanut butter. And then he would fall asleep for an entire hour and then wake up saying, because they have an allergy. He would fall asleep and he feels like she was like putting a trance on him and putting him to sleep, and that he would wake back up and he would be finishing the sentence. And NK even brought this up in an interview, talking about how he was really tired and did this. So they also said that there was lots of weird sexual acts, and that they were not excluding threesomes, and that NK was actually giving Chris oral every day and just enticing him with things that he had never really experienced, like backdoor and all of that. And so that just opens up the door to so many more questions, you guys. And so it's really, really, really hard to piece everything together. And I feel like I want to get through Discovery. I want to get through NK's other phone interview. There's one more phone interview we have to cover. And I want to get through his Wisconsin murder tapes. So we will be doing that over the next month. I will not monetize any of that. I will probably not monetize any of my videos ever, except for, you know, something that has to do with my business or something that is not related to death and murder and lust and mayhem. It is a dioptase crystal. Dioptase. So, and that's it. And I'm getting attacked, you guys, for this. I'm getting attacked for giving you this information, but I knew reporting on people and facts was going to be hard. I knew it was going to get ugly. And so I was ready for it. So don't y'all worry about me. Yeah, you're right, Brandy. You did say that. I feel like he's hiding behind the Holy Bible. He's pretending like he is this Reformed Christian, but in all actuality, he's still just as dark and in that sick group with Jim and NK as he was before he left. Thank you for all your hard work, Gabri. Thank you, lady. They did not give me that information, Dave. There was no information about who it was with. It was just the word threesome. See, Jamie, and I only got my Patreon from there for a week. It was a week ago, the day that she did that live before she took off to her vacation. She actually is when I paid for my Patreon. And I want to read some stuff that I want you guys to know that I kept my mouth shut on. That really bothered me, that was in that Patreon group. Let's see. Somebody in the group, whenever Sandy's statement got posted, they said, how are you affording all these attorney fees? I mean, that's really nobody's business. They lost their daughter and grandchildren, and they're just cold in that group, you guys. I'm glad to be out of it. I'm glad I got what I needed to get and got out, because it is just nasty. And then they said, how are they affording all these attorney fees? And someone else said, oh, I'm sure they made enough money from the death of their daughter. Isn't that sick, the way these people are talking in there? And then someone says that they think, because he mentions NK in the letter so much, that they think it's staged. So it's just sick. And then she's upset. There are people that are upset that they were posting their pictures, the kids' pictures last night. So anyway, it's just all a crock of crap, and I'm not really worried about it. Yes, she does drink. You guys, her problem is that she only has 6,000 subscribers a year later. She saw I got 1,200 in 30 days, and she's scared. She's scared that somebody is going to do what she's done. I want other YouTubers to surpass me in subscribers. I want each and every one of my subscribers to create a channel, and I will support you, and I want you to be more successful than me. That's the kind of person I am, that I want other people to have more than me. I give the shirt off my back. I'll give my last dollar. I will invite somebody in, even if it makes me uncomfortable. So, I mean, I'm just nice like that. I've seen that. I've been taken advantage of so much that I can say that about myself. And so I don't care how big my channel gets or how little it stays. I will be the same person now that I will be then. I promise you guys. And I've watched it go to these people's head. I watched her a year ago. I started in the Watts Island group on Facebook, okay? Then that group disgusted me. It was so sickening how they were blaming Shanann for her own death in that group. So I left it. And I still continue to listen to her on YouTube. Okay. And I looked up to her and the other girl that she's fighting with, and I knew they had a beef, but I still supported both of them. And when I made this channel, I said, wouldn't it be cool if I could, maybe communicate with these people, or we could cover something together, or I saw her even getting better at the Shanann bashing. She kind of quit Shanann bashing because she got so much flack for it. So I even gave her props to one of my subscribers for saying that, you know what, she's evolving, she's starting to get better. And then they're just hating on me. They're hating on me because I have my face on here. I'm not just a little circle. I actually put my face up here. I get the backlash for touching my hair. I get the backlash for scratching my nose, and they aren't willing to do that. And it bothers them that I have reported facts and no drama, and I got more subscribers just reporting the facts. Oh, you should have seen what they were saying in this group about her. They were sharing parodies of people making fun of her. They were calling her a nutcase. They said that she was a mole. They actually said, I find it funny that MM is getting off of her live right before this starts. And so they accused her of being the mole. And in all actuality, it wasn't her. They are very, very mean to her. So I just want you, my subscribers, to know that you guys don't have to bring this to my attention, nor do we ever have to speak of it again. Once this live is shut down, I will never, ever bring that back up again. I could care less. And if they're thinking about me, then I must be doing something right. I am renting space in their heads. So bring it on, sister. And that's all I do. Give Milliam are the facts. That's it. I promise you that. So I am just here to cover these things and to get your information. So the next thing I'm going to do after I get some housework done and some stuff done with my son is I'm going to do that final interview of NK on the phone, you guys. That is her final. It was December 21st that her and the agent talked again. And I believe that one is an hour long. So it's going to take me a while to get it done, but I will go live tonight about that. And then I will do some research on the Patrick Frazee case as well, so we can catch you guys up. But yes, I just wanted to address that, and mainly I'm addressing it so the trolls can go back and report that I'm not scared, that my godfather is a federal judge, retired, and so he made sure to sit me down and tell me what I can and cannot do and what I need to be alarmed of. So, and I'm not alarmed. So thank you so much for your love and support, and subscribe. Hit that like button. There's going to be a lot of dislikes on this video, so hit it, hit it, hit it. Tell your friends if they want to know about the missing NK chapter. They can find it right here on this non-monetized video. I am trying to get information out, not trying to get money. So thank you very much. And let me just give you guys my link to my beautiful nail strips. And again, email me if you want to be a moderator, and it won't happen overnight. We will have to get to know each other through email first. And I'm still not 100% sure how I'm going to do that. Forgot the dot. www. Okay. Okay, Aaliyah needs to be blocked. I mean, I will check my info, you guys. I will re-listen to this later on. Right now, we're just going to keep it moving and cover NK's new phone interview that I haven't covered yet. So we're just going to keep it moving. We're going to continue to rock and roll. None of that matters. Who cares? And when I come back, I will actually go back through and listen to the entire missing NK chapter. And I will review it as the Sherilyn Cadle chapter 29 that it was supposed to be, because there was 28 chapters. But I'm going to go over it word for word and make sure that I don't even say one word that is the same in that. But I can summarize it by changing words using a thesaurus. So don't worry, it's coming, you guys. I just want to make sure that it's out there already from other YouTubers, so it's fair use, and that nobody can try to come at me except with childish, catty high school crap that I'm not going to worry about. So, here's my email. And I do know, you guys just know that I'm going to be cautious with my email because her trolls are going to be emailing me too, trying to pretend like they are my friend. So even though I didn't pretend like I was anybody's friend in that group, I just paid my Patreon and got in. I did not befriend anyone or I was just checking my email. All right, so who do I have to block? Is there anybody I need to block, you guys? Did you guys notice? Oh, BS. Thank you for the super chat. Super chat. Oh, super chat. Thanks for the super chat. Sorry about my loud voice. You guys would kill me if I got a microphone. Can you believe it? I was about to get one in the beginning, too. I even said that when I got my channel monetized, I was getting a microphone, but I don't need one. Thank you. I just now seen it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I agree 1000%, Charlie. You hit that on the money, honey. I did not. No, that didn't come from Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil said broken bones, Charlie. It was the author that said oil in Bella's lungs. It was the author. Thank you, Elizabeth Matlock. Hi, Catherine. Happy to have you. Let's see. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, they really do not like her, Leanda. They don't. They were coming at her hard. And Limeade and Misery. I mean, they were like children at the at on the playground, nanny boo boo, you can't catch me type stuff. It's just sad. I'm glad to be out of the group actually, and for this to be my last live and me to never talk about it again. That is a good idea, to look in the chat and see who has supported me. Thank you, Nick. Yes, and if I'm drinking anything in my wine glass, it's tea, sweet tea. It's also in Discovery, Leanda Lane. You're right, absolutely right. Yeah, she said that she is going to do what she's doing this weekend. She says she's scared to announce where she's going to be appearing because of all the hate that she gets. So she said after this weekend that she's not going to appear on anyone's channel but the YouTuber that was coming at me this morning. And I was hoping that they wouldn't catch on and that I could continue to report on it, but I've been booted. So anyone else that's a mole in that Patreon, can you make sure that I get the information that you get when she comes back on Thursday? She will be back. They set up for her to come back on Thursday. But I told you guys she wasn't going to AD's channel. I told you that she had given exclusive rights to the day after Dr. Oz to this other YouTuber. So, yeah, so maybe that's what she meant by the weekend, Leanda Lane, because she did say that she had some previous obligations to the weekend. So she probably is going to go on his channel, but she already just leaked everything out on this other channel. She even read the chapter, you guys. Read it. Hi, Diane from South Africa. Hi, Anne. And I just want to say thank you for all you mature adults out here that have been very supportive, that have lifted me up. When I posted that video the other day, I got droves and droves of uplifting comments. And you guys have really, really like taken my self-esteem to a whole nother level. But it's not given me a big head, because there are two types of people in the world. And you will always hear me say that. There are the humble and those who are about to be. So I don't want to be in the position where I need to be humbled. I stay humble, okay? I'm not the best YouTuber out there. I'm not the person that gets the exclusive. I'm just D. I'm just me. I'm just trying to have a community where we all feel safe. And that's what it's all about. And there will be no drama here, because no one feels safe in drama. And I paid for that book too, you guys. I bought that book from Barnes and Noble. I waited a week for it to come. And so I just can't believe how people are all about themselves and how they can't. I mean, my heart bleeds for those around me, and my mood is affected by the people around me mood. And so I try to surround myself with the positive and people that I aspire to be. And it's just, negativity will drag you down to that level, you guys, and it will get you out of your character. And so just try to know that if you don't, silence is the like biggest recourse that you have, is to just not feed into it and not get loud and mad and keep smiling, and know that when that person stops harassing you, someone else is going to harass you, and you just have to learn to use it to your advantage. NK was never asked to take a lie detector test. Chris's truck was never open. The door to his truck was never open for them to take the cadaver dogs inside the truck. I mean, so much stuff was not done that it's ridiculous. The cops said in the first 200 pages of discovery that no other cars came or went during that surveillance footage of Chris backing his truck up into the garage and carrying out the bodies. They said in discovery that there was no cars that came and gone during that 37 or 45-minute, however long he was in the driveway. So they dropped the ball a lot. They never downloaded the data from NK's Android phone. They only got the data from the Apple phone, and she deleted everything out of it beforehand. So it's just a lot of crazy nonsense. They were so upset, Michelle. I mean, they came after me in the chat, and I just defended myself. You can watch the replay. I just said, look, I'll see myself out. They were very upset that I thought that Sherilyn wasn't being sensitive enough. And it wasn't that. It was just the fact that oh my gosh, AM, are you serious? Thank you. Oh, wow. Please know that I'm very grateful for that, but they're going to think that I'm using this to get money. And I'm not. That's just me being overwhelmed with joy. Okay. This just happens every once in a while. Joy can bring me tears. So thank you so much, AM. You did not have to do that. Thank you. So anyway, wow. Stay humble, and that's what you guys are going to get with me. I promise you, you will not see me change from this, because it took me 41 years to get here. It took me a long time of doing the wrong things and acting in response to things the wrong way to get to a point where I could be mature and professional. And so I'm not going to undo that. That was hard work. That was a lot of my heart pounding and me feeling adrenaline and me learning to cope. And talk myself down and not rely on other people to give me happiness or to talk me off a ledge, so to speak. So I just want you guys to know that I've worked really hard to get to where I'm at, and that I will continue to be this person, and that I will actually get better over the years, because I can see who I am now and who I was 2 years ago, and it's unrecognizable. I was so codependent. Now I'm the most independent woman you'll meet in your life. I don't need or want anyone. And so I want you guys to see me evolve into this. And I want you guys to know from how far I've came. And that's why I share these deep, dark, ugly secrets of mine, because I want you to know that you can do it too. That no matter what you're stuck in, you can end up 2 years later with a YouTube channel of 1,000 people, and people care what you want to, what you have to say, and you're affecting people and you're helping people. And that is the best high you could ever get in your whole life, is helping people, knowing that people see the genuineness in you and that they want to see more. And so I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. I can't wait to hear some other stories. Imagine if my stories are that great, there's other people out there that have even better stories than mine. There are other people out there that overcame unimaginable circumstances, and I want to be able to share those with you. And I want to be able to not just have this as a watch channel, but to have this as inspiration, as help, as stepping stones to a better future for everyone. So welcome to my channel. I love you guys. You're all awesome. I'm going to go do some research. I'm going to spend some time with my son. He's going to finish up a little bit of his school, and I will be back tonight with a live about the Patrick Frazee case and all of that that's going on, because we've got 2 days of coverage that I did not cover. And then I will be writing out the Nicole Kessinger's second interview, because when I write it out, I pick up little bits and pieces of stuff that I did not hear the first time. So I'm super excited about that. We still have the discovery to go through. We're on page 201 of like 1,900 and something. And every time I look at it, stuff's dedacted. Like it gets shorter and shorter all the time throughout the last year. So we need to hurry up and do this before it's all the way gone. And then Chris's Wisconsin interview, we've only covered 30 minutes of the 5 hours we've got to go over. Thanks for having 166 people on my chat. You guys are awesome. Even if you're just here to hate on me, you're here. And wow, thank you for taking the time out of your day to come watch little old me. Even if you are a hater, I really appreciate you being here. So you did give up your time for little old me. So this is Mama Beauty's here, coming at you straight from North Kakalaka, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Cass, for the, or CA for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you. So AM as CA, is that California? Does that mean where it came from? Does anybody know about that? Let me answer some questions before I go. I just talked and didn't talk to anyone. I don't know why she left the chapter out either. Ivy Lou, she said that she left it out because that her lawyer said that she could face some kind of recourse, that they thought that the attorneys could come after her or something like that. So that's why that she left it out, and they told her to leave it out because of that. I will do the live later. Let's do it at what time? You guys give me some times. What do you mean Siberia? Kay and Liz are the leakers of what? Thank you, Shady Willow. Thank you, Lady Lucan. Yes, Nick Cortez. I see her. She's getting blocked. Thank you, Leanne Delane. Oh, Amber, that is so sweet. Thank you, Amber Lee Master. I really do want you guys to know that I am not doing this for Super Chat, though, and I never asked for Super Chat. I appreciate each and every dime that you give me. I do only make $1.25 off of every pack of nails that I sell, but trust and believe, I go live and sell it like paparazzi. So, like, here are my nail sets. So, it's not like I actually have a bunch of inventory on hand. And so I go live and I sell these like a mad lady, like the paparazzi ladies do. And so don't get it twisted. I can go live and sell, 50 sets of nails at one time in a Facebook Live. So I do make good money, but I'm not doing this YouTube channel for money. And I only set up the super chat because it was a privilege that I was given yesterday. And so it was like my next step to YouTube. And so I just want you guys to know that I'm so appreciative, but I'm never, ever, ever asking for anything. And I'm the type of person that if people throw stuff in my face, then I'll just turn the super chat off. And that really doesn't help my son or, us to be able to, the time that this is taking away from his mom, then maybe I could buy him Robux with some of that money and that I wouldn't have had before. And so he, I could help him with that, but I don't need it. I don't ask for it. I'm the type of person, if you give me a gift and you throw it in my face, I'll put it in the trash or I'll throw it outside because I'm just like, don't give something just so you can have leverage, So I just want to let y'all know that I'm super appreciative, but it really rubbed me the wrong way in that Patreon when they said that I was getting super chats off of stolen content, and that's not true. I was getting a super chat because it was my first time I was able to do it. My subscribers were never able to do that before that live. So, but anyway, thank you. You guys are awesome. Shady Willow, it's okay. I'm fine. I promise I'm not hurting. I haven't came on here and said I need anything. I mean, look at the phone I'm using. I have an Apple iPhone Plus 7 that is not working. The digitizer broke, so only half of it works. But you don't see me asking for money to get my phone fixed. I'm perfectly happy with this little Motorola old school fits into one hand phone. No, not a problem. I don't carry designer bags anymore. I'm not out here buying Uggs anymore. I humbled myself in the last 2 years, and I'm telling you, it's a better place to live. Whenever you get money, it seems to change people. And when I had money like that, there was a time in my life where I had lots of money and it changed me. And so I want to be aware of that and make sure that that never happens. So keep it humble. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much. You're so sweet, AM. Thank you so much. You have no idea how that touches my heart. Thank you, Shady Willow. Yes, you're right, Land Elaine. But thank you to all my new subscribers, too. Thank you to each and every one of you. I will listen to your opinions. I will not shut you down, even if I don't agree with you. The only time anyone gets blocked here is if you're being negative. If you are being negative, I'm sorry, I have to get rid of you not because you're anything less than me. It's because I can't have that kind of negativity in my life. Okay? So nothing personal, but you guys won't ever hear me bring that YouTuber's name up again, no matter what they do from this point forward. I'm not going to bring it to you guys. I'm just going to bring you what we're all here for, and that is to get to the bottom of all these true crime cases. Thank you so much for your love and support. And don't even, like, if you guys are emailing me about this stuff, don't even email me and tell me what they're doing. I don't care. Unless it affects me in a negative way, we're just going to let them do whatever they want to do. If someone shows up at my house, then my doors are locked for their protection. Okay? Just know that. My doors are locked for intruders' protection, not for mine. Bye.